Here's another important message on crime from a scientifically done study. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
In the spring of 2021, when I wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal saying the Democrats need to own the crime issue or the crime issue will own you. Well, people said, well, you can't do that because there'll be a big backlash. Okay, you didn't own it, and guess what? It's a big problem for Democrats.
We're seeing crime spikes in some areas of 60%.
Soaring crime.
We're in the top 10 for crime in the nation.
The crime wave that's been facilitated by left radical policies.
Soaring crime, DAs that let violent criminals out on the street to roam free. We need to make our streets safe again.
There you have it. Crime is one of the key things Republicans are hammering their opponents with in the final days before the midterms. But they are something those Republicans are not telling voters. The crime they're scaring voters with, a lot of it is happening in their own red backyards. Jim Kessler's organization, Third Way, published a study titled The Red State Murder Problem. He's also a former legislative and policy director for Chuck Schumer. Jim, your study's title says a lot. So let's begin with the facts about murder rates. Walk us through it.
Well, the murder rate in Trump voting states is 40% higher than the murder rate in Biden voting states. 8 of the 10 states with the highest murder rates in the country not only voted for Trump in 2020, they voted Republican in every single presidential election this century. And we looked at the size of police departments in the 25 largest Democratic-run cities and the 25 largest Republican-run cities. On a per capita basis, police departments in Democratic-run cities are 75% larger.
Broaden this out. Overall crimes in red states compared to blue states. I pause because just hearing you say that, it just makes me wonder, why aren't others saying this all day, every day?
Right. And we put this report out in March, and the hope was really to change this narrative. And, look, you had James Carville talking about this 3 minutes ago on this segment. And he's right. If Democrats don't own the crime issue and don't define it, it'll be owned for them. And, I just think Democrats have been derelict telling a story, and Republicans have been telling a far more, it's not a true story, but it's a convincing story. And, we're paying the price for it.
But isn't that crazy? Paul Krugman has a column out right now, and it refers to red delusions about purple reality. And he basically is saying that these right-wingers, they talk about all these bad things, but they offer no solutions. How is it that voters don't see this?
Yeah, I think particularly on crime, there's a laziness in the media, frankly, about crime. There's 60 murders that happen typically every single day. And the question is, what murder is going to be covered? And it's usually going to be a murder in a city near a media market like New York or Los Angeles or Oakland, someplace like that. The fact of the matter is the murder capital of California for 5 years running is Kern County. The biggest city there is Bakersfield. That is a Republican-run city, a Republican-run county, and they get to call their Congressman Kevin McCarthy. So, I just think this is an issue that's very easy to demagogue. And again, I would say Democrats have stepped on it themselves. Defund the police was really dangerous words to put out there. Mainstream Democrats didn't come out and squash it right away, and Republicans were allowed to control the narrative.
So right now, there's 2 weeks to go. What do Democrats do? I mean, the fact that you just laid out there, that the highest murder rate is in Bakersfield, and the person to point to is Kevin McCarthy, the same person who goes on Fox News every day railing against Biden and crime. It's McCarthy's issue. Do Democrats have time to make that issue, and why haven't they yet? You could pick up the phone and call Chuck Schumer and say, yo, Chuck, why aren't you handling this?
Well, I don't know if there's time left. I mean, this is, if I could take a time machine and go back 6 months, I would try and convince them even harder than I did back then that you've got to control this issue. 2 weeks is a short time, but we need to be doing something on this. Republicans are hammering us on this message. And then we have to look past November and make sure we get control of it in 2024, because this will be an issue that will bedevil us in a presidential year as well.
The truth matters, but only if you hear it. And so people deserve to hear it.
again, Carville was right. You have to hold absolutely every attack that the Republicans use against Democrats by the horns, and remember what Republicans are best for. It is something called projection. In other words, if they're accusing you of something, hold up a mirror, because it really is talking about what they're doing. They complain about crime. Crime is rampant in their domain. They complain about morality of the progressives and the liberals. It is they who have continuously shown moral degradation, whatever the word is. They complain about economics. It is their policies that continuously hurt the American middle class and poor. They complain about inflation. It is their benefactors who continue to raise prices on us all. They talk about socialism. It is their companies that constantly bleed, or rather suck on the dollars from the American people, from our tax system. So everything they talk about, absolutely everything they talk about, put up a mirror, because it is it can only be called projection. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.